What's up, y'all? Welcome back. So let's jump right in. First off, this is the kind of motion of your thumb, okay? What we're doing is we're bending at this knuckle here. If you try to bend at this knuckle, you're not gonna have like the leverage to get over. What we wanna do is have our thumb here in this position, and then just, another way of thinking of it is almost like we're hooking around the neck, okay? So that's the motion I'm doing, like that. Now for some people, that motion is something that you've probably never done. If you find yourself not able to do this motion here, what you should try to do is take your right hand and then try to force that motion, okay? Don't force it so where it hurts. Just bend the last knuckle over like this. We want that part has got to be able to hook over the top of the guitar. Now that by itself might be something that's going to help you do it, okay? Essentially, it's just these two main chord shapes. Let's take a look in the fifth position. We have the major chord shape that looks like this, and then the minor chord shape that looks like this. Now, since this position, F, is the hardest to do this chord in, what I recommend is to come actually up the neck, maybe start in the 8th position. And try the shape up here, either the easy one, where we don't have this finger barred off, or the little bit more advanced version where we have that finger barred off. Getting it up here is a little bit easier than down there because the frets are a little closer together. The angle of where your hand falls, it's a little bit easier. Once you can get it here, the goal is to start to see if you can slide that down all the way down to 1st position. So start in 8th position, play the chord, slide down one, 7th position, 6th position, and so on. Just see if you can go down all the way to 1st position, okay? 3, 4. Let's go through some of the issues that you might be having. First off is the placement of the hand. Now, if you're used to playing like this, where you have all this space back here, trying to get in this thumb over the neck position feels really weird. One of the first things I'll say to people is grabbing it, okay? So on the backside, what does that look like? It means that we're kind of pushing our palm a little bit closer to the guitar, not totally on it all the way like that, but leaving a little bit less space than we normally would. If you can see underneath, this is what it looks like underneath, okay? And take another look at my hand from this angle. That's what it looks like, okay? It's not this, okay? Its palm is almost all the way down, okay? Now I'm gonna show you exactly where the string is touching my thumb. If you look right there, you can see there's the line on my finger. I'm gonna draw on it. Let's take this red pen here, and I'm gonna draw a line exactly on that mark. And it's not gonna be where you probably think. This is where the thumb is touching the string, okay? Look at that angle. It's almost straight up and down. Not quite, but almost. That's where, on this F chord, my thumb is. Look at the angle of it, okay? It's not like straight across that way. If you tried to get it straight across that way, you're never gonna get your fingers in the right spot, okay? It's pointed more down the neck, okay? Another thing you might notice is a lot of times it looks like my thumb is actually going past the fret, okay? The reason for that is because we want to get our thumb as close to the fret as possible. Just like any other time that we play a note, we don't want to have a lot of space behind the fret or else you might get some buzz, like that, okay? So when you're here, the actual grip point, again, is where that red line is. The tip of my thumb is actually going past that fret. So if you look down at your finger and it's not working, try sliding your thumb up to where it almost is above the fret exactly. If you can't do this at all, it might be because of your guitar shape. What type of guitar do you have? Are you trying this with a classical guitar? Are you trying this with a wider neck style acoustic guitar? If so, it's gonna be harder to play this style. I love Taylor guitars because of the neck shape. That's one of the big things. It has a thinner profile neck, which allows people with smaller hands to grip the neck in this fashion. Let me show you some different guitars that are gonna give some different challenges on this type of playing. Now this one is not ideal. Now I guess I can kind of do it here, but look at the neck shape between this neck and this neck. Look how much wider this one is than this one. Now, if you have a smaller hand, on a classical guitar, this is going to be very difficult, especially in this first position. I think for me, I can just barely get that grip. Okay? Even though it has a very flat neck, the size of it from here to here is longer, so it's harder to get that grip. One thing that helps is flattening out this palm. Flattening out the palm on this grip all the way. Now I'm really, my whole palm is touching the back of this neck, okay? Now that's not ideal, and this is typically a guitar that you wouldn't want to play thumb over the neck style. If you can't do it, you might want to consider trying a different guitar neck shape. One of the last things I want to say here is, do you have to be able to do this to play blues guitar or boom chuck style like Chet Atkins or Tommy Emmanuel? Well, yes and no. You don't absolutely have to. There's always an option to kind of do to get this kind of boom chuck sound with using bar chords. In the long run, it's going to be harder to do that, but is it doable? Absolutely, you can. I'm sure there's players out there that don't ever play thumb over the neck that can play Tommy Emmanuel style really, really well. If you like that style of playing, or if you like Jimi Hendrix or Stevie Ray Vaughn, those styles of blues and rock guitar playing, if you like their style of playing, I think it's worth giving it a shot to try to get that thumb over the neck. Like I said, in the long run, this is going to be a more comfortable position. Even though today it might be impossible for you, don't give up on this. Try the options that we explored today, and remember the angles. I hope this really helps out a lot. Almost everybody struggles with this technique at first. I definitely did at first. It felt like it was impossible. It felt like my hand was too small. It felt like maybe my fingers weren't long enough. I had all these different struggles with it, but I kept up with it. I tried it on different necks. I tried it on different guitars, and eventually I was able to do it. And I want to be able to help you guys to be able to do it as well, because it's a fun way to play. Let me know if you have questions on this in the comments, or if this finally helped you get your thumb over the neck to play some of these nice sounding chords, okay? So let me know in the comments, and thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.